The third interrogative adverb is the interrogative adverb how. The interrogative adverb how indicates one of the ways which is allocated to the subject to actualize the experience, condition, or action that the verb indicates. The interrogative adverb how indicates a way of the subject to a condition that the subject is surrounded from the way. So we can think of the sequence consistent with the way that the subject is allocated to actualize the definition of the verb is before the subject actualizes the experience, condition, or action with the way. The condition that the subject is surrounded is revealed after the subject actualizes the experience, condition, or action from the way. So the way, the actualization, and the condition are in the sequence consistent with. Also, the interrogative adverb how indicates the condition that the subject is surrounded in because of the way that is allocated for the subject to actualize the definition of the verb. There are 10 clauses. Before we start to study about the 10 clauses, let's check the brief introduction. The first and second clauses are introduced because the interrogative adverb how specifies the definition of the verb. The third and fourth clauses are introduced because the interrogative adverb how specifies the definition of the determiner many to describe the noun in the clause stated in the perfect tense. The fifth and sixth clauses are introduced because the interrogative adverb how specifies the definition of the determiner many or much to describe the noun in the clause that the general verb is applied in. The seventh and eighth clauses are constituted with the same word, but the arrangement is different. In the seventh clause, the interrogative adverb how specifies the definition of the adjective happy. In the eighth clause, the interrogative adverb how specifies the definition of the be verb. In the ninth clause, the interrogative adverb how specifies the definition of the adverb of frequency, often, that specifies the definition of the intransitive verb smile. In the 10th clause, the interrogative adverb how specifies the definition of the intransitive verb smile, specified by the adverb of frequency often. So we can see that the 9th and 10th clauses are constituted with the same word, but it's different. The first clause is this: how are you? The speaker applies the interrogative adverb how to specify the definition of the be verb, to describe the existence of the subject as the listeners, with the way that the subject exists by and the condition that the subject exists in. We create each other with this interrogative clause. As a Christian, I think that the first conversation is to figure out whether we are with Jesus Christ or not, because with Jesus Christ, we are happy. The speaker intends to figure out the way that exists at the present. The listeners to this interrogative clause can respond with the way that the listeners are able to be in the conversation with the speaker and the listeners. The speaker also able to intend to figure out the condition of the subject in the conversation with the speaker and the listeners. This interrogative clause is stated in the first type of clause constituted with the interrogative adverb how, the intransitive verb are, and the subject you. One of the responses is stated in the first conference: I am standing here on foot. The speaker applies the existence of the speaker as the subject by a way for the subject to exist with the phrase of the preposition on foot. The speaker of this clause specifies the existence with the way that the speaker is able to exist in the conversation with. So this clause assumes that the conversation with the speaker and the listeners on the premise that they are standing. With the phrase of the preposition on foot, we can figure out the way that the speaker as the subject is allocated to exist. So the phrase of the preposition on foot to describe a way that the subject relies on to exist corresponds with the interrogative adverb how in the interrogative clause. The other response is stated in the second conference: I am happy. The definition of the be verb to describe the existence of the speaker as the subject with the trait as an intransitive verb is changed because of the trait as the adverb to describe the condition of the subject with the description by the adjective happy. How corresponds with the trait to reveal the condition of the subject on the premise that the speaker as the subject exists. The definition of the be verb is changed from describing the existence of the speaker as the subject to describing the condition of the speaker as the subject. This change originates from the trait of the be verb that includes the trait as an adverb. So the adjective to describe the condition of the speaker as the subject corresponds with the interrogative adverb how. So a part of the trait of the be verb and the adjective happy correspond to the interrogative adverb how.